What's up, Houston? How's it going? I am in the process of sort of like getting ready for a shoot tomorrow, as well as sort of straightening out my office, because my office is a little bit of a bomb right now. But thanks for hopping on. Just finishing getting this pushed out to the interwebs. One more shoot. Dave shoots in Atlanta. Where's home for you? YouTube, come chat. Dang it. Yeah, where's home for you? Refresh share attachment. Monroe, Louisiana. Oh, that's cool. How far a drive is Atlanta from Monroe, Louisiana? Close. Closing all these extra tabs. Close next to the home of Duck Dynasty. Well, if you have a beard, you must be near Duck Dynasty. I am not near Duck Dynasty, which is why I can't really grow a beard. So that's pretty much the answer to that. Okay. 7 hours. Woof. That's further than I would have guessed. Well, have fun with that drive. Okay, close. Like, I'll close out everything. So I'm going to sort of like half stare at my camera. And I'm going to like 75% answer your guys' chat questions and 25% idly clean up and pack. So, what can we talk about? What have you been shooting in Atlanta? Maybe that's a good question. And if anyone has other questions or things they want to talk about, feel free to jump in. This the cord, Elgato. Dude, that's then you're aware that I haven't dropped one for a little bit. Hopefully soon, though. I just gotta finish getting my act together. I need to record a few more. I briefly talked about this earlier on stream, I think, but there we go. I'm legitimately looking into like hiring a podcast producer, basically, and just someone to help me with a lot of the online content stuff. But podcast producing is a big one, because the thing that sucks up the time isn't recording them, it's scheduling them and like reaching out to people and communicating with people if this is what you have to do and this is what you need to know. And so trying to find someone to help with all of that. Just top-down recipe videos. Dude, that's sick. You should share some of that stuff on the Patreon and whatnot. I would love to see it. Okay. So then this guy goes in. Oh, I'm going to need a longer HDMI. I just know it. But yeah, dude, that's really cool. Don't need this cable right now. This is trash. Food stuff's really interesting. That's one of the things that's sort of on my like to-do list for this year, I guess. I would love to shoot food stuff. And I've just never really gotten the opportunity, but more random doors keep opening, so I wouldn't put it off my list just yet. I got my brother got me a card for a League of Legends skin at PAX. So I used it. Now I don't have to use it anymore. I feel like the like contrast on my C100 is really low. Let's see, filters. Ooh, audio video filters. Nope, don't want that. Apply LUT. Ooh, I don't want to do that either, really. Color correction. I feel like this is probably gonna like really freak my computer out. Contrast up a little bit. That might be better. Close. Now, if we open this guy up a little bit. What are we at? No, let's on this a little bit. That flare is intense. There we go. It's a little more stream-ish. Haven't been to the caliber they want just yet. It's a lot of run and gun and some solo shooting. All of it's best I can do with what I have kind of situation. Dude, I feel that. That's what I'm doing tomorrow, basically. Just me running around trying to make college look interesting. Flag a little bit of that guy off. I'm gonna grab a Ziploc bag real quick. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so I'll just do this for like another 10 minutes maybe then? Okay. I'm back. I have retrieved the Ziploc bag for these extra keyboard keys. I have to charge my RGB Quasar. You know what I should do is I should make a little message here. I can't tell. Is this underexposed now maybe? Maybe I went too far. Let's come back here. Let you guys in on the wizardry. The never-ending loop. Okay, if we go in here, put the chat back. Dude, yes. College projects are fun. They definitely can be a little interesting, but I'm thankful for them. Can you change the color of the Quasar from your phone? That's a good question. I don't have a production RGB Quasar yet, so I'm not sure. Be back soon. I'm playing around with OBS, but you maybe can? I don't really know. I honestly don't. The version that I had did not have the ability to do that, so I wouldn't personally bet on it, but it's definitely possible. Cancel. How does this work? Be back soon. Okay. I don't see this anywhere. Maybe select font. 144. Okay. See, I have no clue where this is right now. Transform, edit transform. I'm not very good at OBS. That's what I'm learning. Add. No. All I want to do is add a simple text message, and I can't find it. Oh, maybe I'll go back to what I was doing before then. Save. Save. Select font. Let's try this. Defaults. Oh, is this the problem? Color. Make it white. Outline, drop shadow, custom text width. Guys, I don't know. Be back soon. Oh, wait, there's something. I don't think that was showing up before. I definitely don't quite understand what's going on with this, so I'm going to give up on it now. You guys get to watch me struggle with these stupid things. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Getting rid of that. Remove. Let's go back to this. Okay. What bags do you use for travel? I have a few different bags. My main bag, I would say, is an f-stop backpack. Let me grab it. It is this beastie. I'm gonna pull the stuff out of it. C100 top handle. A Rode VideoMic Pro, always important. A SD card and a small XLR. And then I'm pretty sure there's a little more stuff up here. I'm just trying to clean it out so I can sort of show it to you without dropping a million things. Here we go. And a granola bar. So the way these guys work is basically you have the main part of the backpack is pretty much a normal backpack, as you may expect. You have sort of pockets in here and whatever. Then the main compartment is in the back here, so the part that goes against your back. And you zip that guy out. And then there are different internal compartments you can use. This one's sort of a mess right now. But padded dividers, you can fit a ton of stuff in here. There's pockets on the flap, but this is what I use because it fits the Amira and all the other big stuff that I have to carry, so I've been really happy with it. It's really comfortable. Yeah, there's room up top. Your laptop slides in here, which is nice. It's sort of hidden and protected. But yeah, this one, I've had it for a few years, and I've been happy enough with it. I might get one of the newer Satoris. They're just a little bit bigger again. So if anyone's interested in buying this one, I'm definitely considering selling it. I have to figure out how I'm going to actually pack for tomorrow. But that's my main travel bag, honestly. I don't really use a lot else. Yeah, I'm interested in trying the Voyagers soon, hopefully. I was talking to Carr, and he said that they were just experiencing some delays with, like, figuring out a few little production things. So hopefully they'll have that sorted soon, as I'm talking with my head off camera. I'm actually not going to do this for too long, because I realized that it's later than I thought it was, and I have to actually get some stuff done, but I like the opportunity to at least briefly chat. Top handles back on the C100. Got my little battery magnet quasar. Got to charge this guy up. And the other bag that I travel with a lot is over here. This is my like second backpack. It also works as a messenger bag. Usually if I'm using the f-stop bag, as my main backpack, it'll go overhead, and then this guy will run as a messenger bag and throw under my seat. But like this is all my chargers and stuff. This was the only bag I took with me to West Virginia yesterday. I actually don't know who makes it. I found it on an Instagram ad and I really liked it. It says Sovereign Republic on it. And yes, we're shooting Amira. We're shooting a lot of formats, potentially more throughout the project than we even are tomorrow. But tomorrow the plan is Amira, Super 16, and Super 8 film. And then I'll have my phone and my Movi just in case. And I will have our 360 GoPro just in case. I'm going tomorrow to scout a location for a client that is going to need 15 videos. It's a music school. Any advice? Well, on the location scout, the 15 videos thing is its whole own discussion. On location scout, I would say I like to look out for sort of what our big pros and big cons are for a location. So like what are our wins, whether that's good light, good composition, good contrast, stuff like that. Logistically good, whether it sounds good or whatever. All that kind of stuff. And then what are the cons? So maybe this is a cool spot, but we're going to have to light it, or, you know, it can be any of a number of things, what your issues are, and sort of trying to note those things. I usually try to also, depending on the kind of shoot it is and depending on how much control you're going to have, I try to keep track of what your options are going to be for like loading in and out. If you need to be able to get gear in and out, then seeing where you can do that easily can be helpful in making your schedule work well. I also like to keep an eye on where power is, where we can store gear and stuff, like where base camp is going to be if we have to sort of leave most of our stuff and just bring a few things around with us. This is my process for unpacking after shoot. I just take everything out of my bag and put it like on a table, and then I put it all away. But yeah, I mean, I would say just know what you're looking for going into, if you can, and if you can't really know what you're looking for some reason, then I would just try to be as intentional as possible about like picking some specific like things that are, you really have to sort of identify what's key to your kind of project. Without me knowing more about it, it's hard to say. Like the tech scout that I was on yesterday was like department heads and key grip and gaffer and G&E crew, and so like what I was looking at as a DP was mostly just creative and visual, and they were keeping track of a lot of the logistics of like power and all that kind of stuff, rigging and things. But if you don't have those guys, then you have to keep an eye on that. And if you're like producing and directing too, then you have to think about things like load in and, you know, the overall creative and stuff. So it really just depends on what your role is in the project. Okay. So this is my USB Nest. This thing, it's called like a Jellycomb. Jellycomb. It's not. Pull focus, you stupid. Oh, I think the flare's freaking out. There we go. But it's got a whole bunch of USB ports on it. So I usually bring this with me when I'm traveling, and I put it in my desk thing of charging ports in here. This Anker, whatever it is, Anker battery pack is my go-to travel battery whenever I'm flying. I bring this thing, use it to recharge my phone in the plane. Speaking of charging my phone, where's my phone? Phone's in here. Can plug my phone in. Do you sleep well before shoots? I think too much and then sleep terrible. How do I sleep well? I used to sleep really poorly. It really depends on the shoot. I think I sleep worse the more things I'm worried about, which is sort of self-explanatory. But like, you know, I'm not sleeping. I think I'll sleep okay before tomorrow's shoot. Because it's pretty, I would call it low stress, but if it were a bigger shoot, I would definitely be a little more worried about my overall stress value. I would say that just sort of like, on a certain level, resigning yourself to like, it is what it is, and by the time you're in bed, there's nothing you can do about it. Other than that, I don't know. I don't have much other advice than that, other than you get used to it. I would say too, like over time, you should just become a little less consistently stressed, because your body and mind will sort of get used to it and will get comfortable with it. So that definitely helps. But yeah, I mean, I totally feel you. I've had a lot of shoots that I was like, couldn't sleep, freaking out, just all kinds of issues beforehand. I mean, I've had like crying meltdowns nights before shoots. So it's all just a question of stress and what you can do to manage it. Part of that too is like setting yourself up to succeed, because like if you don't take charge of things and you don't do your pre-pro well, then there's usually a lot of stuff to worry about the night before a shoot. But if you've done all your pre-pro well, you really shouldn't have that much to be stressing about, because usually it's just execution past that. These are all good questions, by the way. Okay, I'm dumping one of these 360 GoPro cards. So it's interesting. Here, I'll minimize this sucker. The GoPro records to 2 micro SD cards, and they save as GoPro back and GoPro front. We can do this, I guess. West Virginia shoot. Fusion, Tech Scout. Fusion, paste that guy in there. And then you take the back from the other card and you paste it into the same folder. So I'm not going to make you watch all of that. But it's definitely an interesting system. Okay, what else do I have to do right now? Any other questions, guys? Trash. I would say too that like it's really where are you located, Evan? And where would you like to be located? I'm currently located in northwestern Connecticut, technically. So I was in Western Massachusetts. Where I am now is about 25 minutes away from where I was. But it's all sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I'm sort of like between Boston and New York. I'm like an hour and a half-ish from Boston. And I'm like 2.5 from New York. But I don't know, honestly. We just bought a house here, and this was sort of a big conversation. Was like, where do I want to be? You know, where do we want to be? And my gut says that I don't want to be here. But there's a large part of me that the more time I spend thinking about it, the more I get comfortable with being here, because it's like, I feel like I've done a good job of building sort of like enough of a name for myself that I still work consistently, and I don't really work around here. So I'm not really worried about working locally. And like the biggest advantage of moving somewhere else would potentially be traveling less and or relationships. And I feel like the relationships is a potential one and the traveling less is a potential one. But from what I know, most of the guys I know who are like in New York and LA still travel basically just as much as I do. So I don't know that it's worth sort of chasing that dream, if that makes any sense. And the relationships admittedly could be valuable. But I really don't know, you know, maybe I just don't know any better, but I don't currently have like this burning desire to go to LA or New York. Plus I don't really like New York. New York stresses me out. And LA is cool, but LA is like expensive and Mandy would hate it there, so we'll see. I'm here for now. That's loud. Eject that card. I saw the next questions about footage backup. I'm going to try to get to that. Just 1 second. And then I do, unfortunately, have to bounce in the next. We'll call it 2 minutes. I gots to get some sleep. Yesterday was a... Wait. Why does this one say front, too? You guys are missing all the fun over here. Work... Oh, no, never mind. The other one's back. Okay, cool. We're good. So, yeah, both go into the same folder. Let me see what that question was. What is your process for file management? Do you keep all your footage that you shoot, or if it's just something that you might need in the future? Also, do you back up locally in the cloud? I don't generally back up in the cloud because it would take like 1 million hours. I have a whole milk crate full of hard drives. I don't even know how much footage I have, but I probably have like somewhere between 35 and 50 terabytes of footage at home. So cloud would be a very long upload. Process for file management, it depends. I don't keep everything that I DP. I don't get to keep everything that I DP. I generally keep just about everything that I like direct or do like the production on, with limited exceptions. But yeah, so I usually keep stuff just to have it. After a while, I'll clear it. But usually by the time I don't want it anymore, like I don't want those drives anymore. Like I had old projects that are on FireWire drives, and I'm like, oh, I could delete this, but I don't really want this drive anymore anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I generally try to keep my hands on everything because you never know when you'll need it. And my process for file management, I mean, you can sort of see it here. I have a RAID that I use for most of my stuff that I actually want to access. It's a 12 terabyte, but it's rated, I forget what it is, RAID 5 or whatever, so that it gives me 9. I would like to get bigger ones. I don't know what drives it is, honestly. It's an OWC RAID. And then I just try to organize stuff by different things. So like work, and then either by client or project or both, sort of depending on what it is. And then within that, like what's a good example? Like this is, no, it's not a very good example. This is probably a decent example. Usually I'll like label things by day, and then like by camera. Here we can see Amira, drone, gimbal, handheld. Depending on the shoot, sometimes they'll get labeled differently. Sometimes it's like C100 versus Amira versus whatever, basketball. But I just try to keep stuff as organized as possible, and I try to keep everything within the folder that it belongs in, if that makes any sense. Like I try to put all my music and everything in these same folders, because if you don't, then you'll like try to reopen a project later and you're never going to find it all. So I try to keep everything together. Here we go back over. Ryan, right. Oh, Houston, what would you say on average is your hourly rate? I guess it depends on how you would measure that. I would say on average, I mean, I would guess I would say like average for this year from what I've seen so far, rather than like average for all time. Currently my asking rate is $1,400 a day to DP. So that's usually 10-hour days technically. So that's technically $140 an hour. It can be less than that for sure. I mean, I've taken a few days that are more at the 1,000 end of the spectrum, and then there are some days that are higher actually. But 14 is sort of what I'm aiming for this year, or at least for the next few months. Ryan, say if you're not editing or coloring a project that you shot, how do you go about getting projects back for your reel, especially with bigger brands? Is that something you ask for before you shoot? It depends. Honestly, I usually just bring a drive to set and I just either do it or ask. And then like if they say no, I usually don't fight them on it. But I usually if you bring your own drive and you're not going to be a jerk about it, and like production trusts you, I find that usually people will let you take a copy of it. So that's usually what I do. Funny story. I did a project, why am I not in focus like at all? You guys need to tell me these things. I did a project for, I probably shouldn't admit this, but I did a project for Apple. I was cam opping on it, and we were shooting on my Mira as a B cam, and they dumped all the footage, and at the end of the day, they didn't format the cards. So I didn't have all the footage because we had actually rolled through the cards a few times, but I had like the last 4 cards of this shoot, and I was like, like I wasn't going to ask for copies of it, but I got some of it, so that was cool. So sometimes you can just keep whatever's on the cards and stuff. If it's not your camera, that's a little trickier, but that's been my strategy. So anyway, I gotta bounce, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I like doing this. Hopefully we'll do this more soon. I'm glad that this setup is sort of coming together. I gotta finish getting this beastie of a PC together so that you guys can see what it's capable of, and we can get the true stream going, do some more live video podcasts and whatever. But thank you guys so much for being a part of this. Here's my schleppy automated chat message. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and asking questions. This was really fun. I'd like to do this again. One of the things that I really want to do is figure out how to basically be able to have people Skype in, so that we could do like round robin, almost like if you saw my Instagram the other night, like pull someone in. It would be fun to have people call in. Sorry, James, you should watch the replay maybe, but I'll try to do this again tomorrow. We're shooting tomorrow, maybe Friday. I could probably do this again Friday. If not Friday, then Saturday. Definitely going to be on, and I'll have the PC up by then too. So we'll definitely chat soon. And if you want content, you can always just go to patreon.com/eborse. You get access to tons of content right away, more Q&As, all that kind of good stuff. So thank you guys so much to the people who do support on Patreon. We love you guys. Yeah, dude, I'll let you know, Caleb. I'm sad I didn't see you at NAB. Hopefully NAB was awesome. We should do some sort of a collab YouTube madness sometime soon. But I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much. Bye.